wrestling wives, we are matching today.
I know. So I walked into Mara's house and she wasn't out here yet. I was hanging on her couch and she walks out and I was like, we're literally wearing the same thing, a gray turtleneck.
So I put on a vest to make it look a little different.
To differentiate between the two of us.
Yeah, so we look the same but different. She got her hair done. Doesn't she look fabulous?
Thank you. My friend from, well, we weren't friends in high school, but we went to high school together. She's out by Franklin Park where I grew up, and she does my hair. And then I'm a hair model for her sometimes. So but I love her. Her name's Annabelle, and I will tag her in our description or whatever. If you're in the area, she's great with color, hair, all that stuff.
Yeah. So. I get my hair done on Tuesday.
I thought it was Friday.
Tuesday. You were Friday. I was Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm excited. Need to cut it. It's growing so freaking fast.
Yeah.
Chop it. When it gets like a certain length, it's like awkward. Like, I don't want a midi bob. Yeah, I want like a bob.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, gotta get rid of that. And apparently I can color it, so I'm excited about that.
And where you go in Sycamore?
I go in Sycamore, yes. She used to be in Rochelle. Caitlin. She's wonderful. I love her. But, yeah, she moved to Sycamore. So.
It's gonna be a new Mara, or is it the same?
It'll look the same.
Oh.
Nothing crazy. I did crazy in August when I chopped it, but now we're just gonna maintain this look. I think. We're a little chaotic today, folks.
Yeah, we literally, and by we, it's me and Mara sitting here like, what? Trying to fix my mic stand, or mic arm.
I don't know what happened.
We were struggling, and now we're here, and I'm a little, I don't know if you could hear it, I'm a little like, in Spanish we say ronca, like a little, what is it called? Like a...
Congested?
No, like my voice is like...
frog and throat.
Yeah, sure. I feel like, I don't know how to say it in English.
Ronca.
I always
mess up
horse.
Horse. Okay,
like
yeah.
Horse, you know?
Okay.
But I don't feel sick and I haven't had a fever or anything, but like that was...
I'm hoping this light gives me some color. It's looking a little pale.
Yeah, we're struggling a little bit today.
We are.
We both were at wrestling this weekend.
Yep.
I actually went to 3 wrestling events.
What?
Not to one up anybody, but I was at the Oregon tournament, like the kids club.
Oh,
then I went to the high school, and then we had another tournament today. So, yeah.
I only went to one.
No, but you were there all day, so.
Kinda. Got there at 12:15, so not all day.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny when we were leaving. My dad came down to come with me, and I was like, "Oh, we're only here for 5 hours today. That's not that bad." He just like looked at me. I'm like, "No, that's good.
No, that was
not 8 hours, you know."
Yeah, not sun up, sun down.
No.
But yeah, and then we just were struggling. But we're happy to be here.
Yes, we are very happy to be here. Yeah. But if we're a little out of it, just go with it. I love that movie. It's a great movie with Adam Sandler. Just go with it. It's really good. It's with Jennifer Aniston. And
I love Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, it's really good. You should
Wait, it's not the murder mystery, right?
No,
it's not that.
I love that one too.
I will say, and my husband will tell you, I'm not the biggest Adam Sandler fan.
Oh, okay.
But when it's paired with Jennifer Aniston or other
Drew
people
Barrymore?
that I like, yeah, Drew Barrymore, I like. But you know, sorry.
That makes sense.
But yeah,
I don't like his one of those movies. I don't like them.
Happy Gilmore movies?
Yeah, I don't like them. Those are not my favorite. I was going to say dumb, but that's not nice. But I guess I said it anyway, folks. But yeah, that's a good movie. Just go with it. So just go with it, everyone.
Yeah.
Great movie. Watch it.
Yeah.
I watched a weird movie.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me earlier. I had never heard of it.
It is not children friendly. Do not watch around your children. I am a little disturbed, but I watched it because it was all over the TikTok. It's called Saltburn.
Where can people watch it?
Amazon.
Oh.
And I'm still I'm blushing because I watched it. It was very
was that
interesting.
kind? Oh my god.
No. Just disturbing.
Okay.
And weird. I was texting my friend Kelsey, and I was like, I just watched this weird movie. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. And then she messaged me back. She's like, what did I just watch? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I just watched either.
Oh my gosh. But no, I have not even heard of it.
I'm not a movie person. Okay. You know me and my shows.
Yeah, I do know you.
You know me and my shows.
Yes, I do.
And then I was like, I'm gonna watch. It's all over the TikTok. Gotta watch it. People are like, it's so disturbing. So I gotta it's like a car crash. You gotta watch. You're like, what's happening?
Interesting. Maybe I'll watch it just.
No children.
Oh well, maybe I will watch it.
Do not. No.
There's always a child around in my house.
Nope.
Yeah, that's funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know we usually touch on wrestling news, but the cheesehead happened yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A few Illinois wrestlers did really well.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, and so that was really.
I think a lot of Illinois wrestlers did well, right?
Yeah, it was funny because we were at the tournament. We were at a tournament today, and her husband and my husband were talking, and they're like, "Yeah, where's that like a highlight of like Caleb Noble winning, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And they were like looking for it. I was like, "Don't worry, Mara sent it to me. Here it is." And they're like, "Send it to me, send it to me." And I was like, "Don't worry, I got." Mara and I have the news.
Yes. How is it though? My whole Instagram feed yesterday was Illinois Matman cheesehead results, and I was like, "What?" Like it was like, okay, a big Bravo person. It was like Bravo cheesehead, Bravo cheesehead. I was like, "What? What is my life right now?" But okay, and I was just like, "Ooh," like scrolling, sending her
and then she
things.
sent it to me. That was funny.
Yeah.
So same. I had a lot of cheesehead, like stuff going on in my Instagram, but the tournament we were at didn't have good service. Well, actually, their service wasn't terrible, but we had 30 kids. And,
wow.
Yeah, and so like it was like the whole day. So
RWC is popping off.
Yeah, the Oregon tournament is really like
a good one.
It's a good one. Actually, this year it went really well. Usually, sometimes we get out there a little bit late. We were out by like 2.
Yeah, came to Sycamore.
Yeah, because then we came to Sycamore, and then since it's so close by, a lot of the wrestlers like to go there. And then this is funny. I haven't even told you this yet. So Abby,
Abby Lehman.
Yes. I always forget your last name, but I know your name is Abby. Abby Lehman. She is the head coach. The wrestling. I can't talk. Oregon's.
Okay, I got you.
Tell me.
Oregon's head coach's wife.
Right.
Woo!
Yes.
It takes two.
Yes. And so I've seen her here in their tournaments and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I need to take a picture. So I asked one of our friend's daughter to take a picture. And she's Gen X, right? So she's like, she's in middle school. Yeah. And I was like, take a picture of us. And I was like, I was fully, I love you, Clara, fully expecting like a full body shot. Like I even like put my leg out, and you could tell that like Abby was like, not like posing, but like we were ready for it.
Totally posing.
And like we were like taking a picture. We were so excited. And then I look and I was like, I love you, Clara. It's a picture of Owen. So Abby, I will send it to you. And it was just so funny. Like it's a good picture.
You have to prove before posting.
It's a good picture. Yes, I think it's a good picture.
Okay, good.
But I was like the Gen Z, like I was fully expecting one thing, and it was like the other thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Love you, Clara.
It's really funny.
Yeah, but she took two too. She like went like this, and then she went like this, and me and Abby were like, oh, getting all the angles, but like fully angles of just her. Love you, Clara.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
I know, but it was funny. So, anyway, that was like totally off topic, but I just thought of it now.
Chaos. That's the title of the episode.
Title of the episode, Chaos. But this is not chaos. We're going to talk about a little bit on our last episode.
Yes.
We talked to Callie Poeta, which again, if you guys don't know, that she's the head coach's. I can't do it again.
The University of Illinois, Mike Poeta, his wife.
His wife.
Yes.
Callie. Yeah, and she had so many good things to say, and we're excited to interview her and talk with her and meet her and do more with her, and she's great. But we want to touch on a few things on like things that she said, and then to remind you guys to watch it if you haven't watched it yet. That's our
please do
previous episode. But yeah, so do you have anything you want to say about that?
Oh, I just really love talking to her. Like it was fun to talk to another person. Yeah. Like, I mean, I love you, right? And we love our husbands, but it was nice to have a guest. Like that was really exciting, and like it was also like I was kind of starstruck.
Yeah, like
right?
And
she was so nice, and I really liked hearing her perspective because high school life, club life, and then a college life. So like it was cool to have all three of us.
Yes.
Even though we didn't super touch on like everything, but like it was interesting to have her take. Yeah. Because how she said like her husband's kind of like the CEO, and it's like it's like different. And I'm like, wow, like because my husband's an assistant coach, so he's in there like grinding and wrestling and my neck, my back, he's in pain all the time, but like he's been sorry Nels, I love you. But it was just and I really liked her 3-point takedown.
Yes,
because I was trying to explain that on the episode, but she articulated it so nicely. So I was like, oh, thank you.
I'm excited to we're supposed to meet her. Yes. If not the NCAA, versus state, right?
Yeah, versus state.
Because I feel like our dynamic will be in person will be a lot more like back and forth. So I'm excited for that. But I was also really, not shocked, but like I was like, oh duh, that so since her husband is the head coach at Illinois, he works over there, right? So that's like his job, like his position, and then so she is solely responsible for the wrestling that happens like in day to day within her family, like her kids.
Yeah.
So for me, speaking from my experience, and I feel like this is a common one, like my husband, if he's there, he'll take them to practice. If he's there, like he'll take them to the tournament and I'll meet him. Like I'm almost not like the secondary. I don't want to say that because that's not true, but like, he like takes the lead on that, I guess. And in her situation, her dynamics at home, she's the one doing all the kids club stuff, and I'm sure she has help. I'm 1,000% sure that the community she's in and all that has help. But I was like, wow, like it's almost as if like her husband was working something like non-wrestling related.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's he comes when he can, you know, and I thought that was, I'm like, well, she's doing like amazing, doing all that stuff. And then I'm sure they go to a lot of the home duels and all that. So it's just, it was so cool to talk to her. And I really like appreciated her take on that. Yeah. And it's, so this is a funny story between me and Callie, or like, I guess. So we went to the, they host CWC, so the Champaign Wrestling Club hosted their first tournament last year. I believe it's called the Champaign Grappler Tournament, and it's hosted the weekend of IHSA State, and we went last year, and then
that's right, because we
stayed the day after State, and we went, and the whole day Brian and I just kept talking about the hospitality room, like the coach's hospitality room, like they had, I can't even remember what food they gave, but I was like, it was awesome. And they had like Gatorades and Pops and all Danishes and fruit and like all these things. And, you know, we were coming from out of town, so like I didn't have a chance to go to the grocery store and pick up snacks for, I mean, I had some snacks for like the kids and the concessions, but like it just felt good to have like feel appreciated as like, you know, a coach over here. But like my husband, you know, we were there all day, all that. And so we like really ranted and raved about the hospitality room. And then I talked to Callie when we were talking to get on the podcast, and she's like, you should come down to the grappler tournament. And I was like, we went last year. It's the best like coach's hospitality room ever. She's like, thank you so much. Like, I'm the tournament director. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, honestly, like that. It was like the best. And so, I know some tournaments, they have like, all they have is like black coffee and like a cookie or like a donut, which I mean is better than nothing. But like, I really felt like appreciated in that, hospitality room. So I was like, that's like a funny connection that we had. And then, one of my friends from up here moved down to Champaign, and now they're kind of friends. So that was like a third party connection to Callie. So
that's how it is with wrestling, though.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always somehow, you know, someone.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I know him. I wrestled with him. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's this family. That's this. Yeah.
My favorite right now is, so we were at Sycamore yesterday, and this is what I was laughing about so hard. I will not name names, but we went out last night. Not out. We went to dinner. Nothing crazy over here, but Nelson. So one of his wrestlers was wrestling someone, and Nelson used to wrestle that kid's brother.
Oh.
Like, so like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But he was just saying like they're so good. Those dang kids were, you know, like his brother used to murder me or like whatever. But that's kind of like, that's like how wrestling is. Like like how is it that one of Nelson's wrestlers is wrestling the brother of another kid, or like like say a cousin, or he like somehow has a connection with everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, crazy.
It's like a big, but it's also small.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So of course you have somehow a third party connection.
Yeah.
You know,
to Michael Poeta's wife.
Yeah. Like it's just wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weekend was kind of crazy.
Yeah, we talked about it already. We were at 3 tournaments, or I was at 3 tournaments. And then it snowed here a little bit, so that like
it did.
I mean, it didn't snow a lot, but it
melted really fast.
Yeah, we got through like a kink into, you know, getting up at 5 a.m. and then the kids were shoveling the snow to get to the car.
That's cute.
Yeah, and so, but yeah.
Yeah, so I had no intention to be at the Sycamore tournament this weekend. I needed to go shopping.
Yeah.
Because
why?
I am pregnant, everyone.
That's so exciting.
Woo! I'm 13 weeks, so I can talk about it now. That's why I've been so MIA and sick and pale. And, yeah, I was not well today, but, so I was gonna go shopping to, like, get some new clothes, because, you know, so things are starting to fit a little different, and so my dad was gonna come down, because, I don't know, I don't like to be by myself, so he's like, I'll come down, I'll spend the day with you, and spend the night. I'm like, awesome, I love it. So he came down, he got here around 11:30, which was nice, because I got to sleep in, had a long week at work, and I was like, okay. It's like, we'll go shopping. I was like, maybe we'll stop by Sycamore, say hi, like, see how it's going. Well, we went there first, and I got sucked in. I was like, I got there, and I was talking to all the moms, and we were hanging out, and then my in-laws were there. And I was like, oh, I'm hungry. Let's go to the concession. Well, first we were, okay, I wanted Chipotle, let's be honest. So I was like, that sounds good. But then Dad's like, we're going to miss some wrestling if we leave. I'm like, we are. So I just ate at the concessions, and then we ended up staying until the end. But I'm happy we stayed, because it was great. Yeah. The kids wrestled tough. It was, they did okay. Yeah. But yeah, and then I ended up staying the whole time. But it was just funny, because, like, no intention. And then I got completely sucked in and didn't want to leave. And I was like, I have to stay. Yeah. But it was
because I got there, and I was like, hey, how'd shopping go? And then your dad was like, we didn't go. And I was like, you've been here the whole time? I didn't even know.
Yeah, the concessions got me through. When we went to Flavin, I had a lunchbox, because I have to eat, like, every 2 hours so I don't get sick. And I didn't bring a lunchbox because I didn't plan on being gone all day, but I brought, like, some, like, peanut butter filled pretzels, so I was, like, eating that on the way. And then I ate the concessions, and it wasn't horrible. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I need to eat, like, we have to go. So then I ended up even going out last night, but again, just got dinner, but yeah. It was funny. I got completely sucked in. I liked it. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, so I guess we're talking about concessions, and I think this is something we could touch on specifically because, like, you're pregnant, and I feel like it's a little bit more, you know, like, food is a little bit more of a topic.
It is.
You know, food, I eat it to survive, and I'm not sure I like things and I don't like things, but I feel like that's magnified when you're pregnant. Even things that you would normally like and, like, wouldn't normally like.
No, yeah.
So, like, we were going to talk a little bit about, like, the concessions at tournaments. Yeah. And I saw someone post about this. I can't remember who it was. And, like, the disconnect of, like, wrestlers are, you know, doing this thing that's so, like, demanding on their body and, like, physically exhausting. And some of them are cutting weight and some of them need to refuel and, like, all these things. But, like, all you have at the concessions are pizza, hot dogs, chips, and candy. Yeah. You know, there's some who have fruit, some have bagels. Like, you know, there's it, like, varies, right? But, like, the normal is, like, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, like,
I was impressed with the concessions yesterday.
Okay, I didn't go to the concessions.
Yeah, so they had pizza, and it was really good pizza. I'm not like I've never bought pizza at a concession, let's just say that. But it sounded really good, so I bought some pizza. And I got a pickle. Pickle and some tinfoil. I don't know. It was delicious. It was really good. So shout out to Sycamore. That was really good. But they had, like, protein bars. Okay. So, like, I got one of those, like, for later in the afternoon. Because my doctor said I need to eat more protein, so I'm not sick. So I was like, oh, perfect, a protein bar. And they had pumpkin pie. Oh. I didn't get it, but that was, like, interesting touch. Yeah. But
they had leftovers.
I don't know. They had hard boiled eggs, and they had fruit, and they had, chips, candy. Yeah. But, like, I was kind of impressed with, like, they had cheeseburgers, which kind of freaked me out. But I was like, okay, protein. Yeah. Like, I think they were from a restaurant down the street. But I was like, that's not, like, horrible.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard, like, in their defense, and, like, whoever's putting on the tournament, like, how do you have, you know, nutrient-rich food when you're, like, for the masses, number one. Number two, affordable. And number three, like, you know, ready at, like, a moment's notice, right? But I guess maybe from my point of view, I tell my kids now, like, you can go to the concession stand, but you can't buy any candy, any drinks, or any, like, what did I say? No candy, no drinks. So I guess those are my main two things. Yeah. Because maybe that's what they gravitate to. So, like, you just don't need that in general. I'm not going to go on a tangent about, like, all that, but, like, if you're wrestling you don't need to like have a sugar spike and then crash.
No.
Of course, like my kids eat candy. Like I'm not saying they don't, but
No,
we
not
like
that
started
day.
noticing like the correlation of like, okay, let's try to have something that like will keep the energy level like up, you know, so like protein filled stuff, or you know, I don't know a lot about the dietary words for things,
you
but like
crash with carbs quickly. You know, you need to have protein, nutrient dense, which is literally what my doctor's been telling me. So I feel like I'm like one with the wrestlers right now through my pregnancy.
Yeah, I really like it when the tournaments have like excuse me, like sandwiches. Like that's not the like, best, right? But like
no, it's like the Jimmy John subs or even like Subway subs or like they make them. Like that's just nice. Yeah. Just have some protein in there.
Yeah, but so at today's tournament, and I've seen at other tournaments, they have tamales, and I got one, and a few people that we were with got them too, and I thought they were delicious. And
sounds good.
They just like come in a tinfoil, and like they're very portable, so that's like a good take on like unusual. It's not something you see at every tournament. No. They're really good, and it's just like, you know, masala, cornmeal, and then chicken, and then some salsa. Like, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. So I think, I don't know, maybe there should be like a little revolution in like what's provided, you know, within reason.
It could, and the subs couldn't be that inexpensive, or like they couldn't be that expensive, right? Like for platters of subs, or
yeah, I don't have any like experience on that. No. Like, I don't know.
But I do understand what you're saying, like, because it's kind of hard to balance too. Because like, who are the concessions for? Is it for the people watching, or is it for the wrestlers? So it is kind of that. They kind of have to probably market to both.
Both, yeah.
But I did appreciate, like, even like the hard-boiled eggs there. Yeah. Like, that's protein quick, you know? And the protein bars, that like literally saved my life yesterday afternoon. So, I mean.
I know like a lot of families bring their own food, or you know, buy food and then bring it in and all that. But
but like yesterday I forgot because like I wasn't planning on being there. So like that was really nice.
Yeah. And like, for example, for me today, it's our second tournament of the weekend. I buy snacks before the weekend. Yep. And then I try not to pack them all in one, like for the first tournament. But by today, I was like slim pickings. Like you know, I couldn't go get groceries last night, so we just ran with whatever we had. But yeah. But another thing we were at, or when I was at the tournament this weekend, and this would be interesting to hear from you guys, like, what's like the weirdest thing you've seen at a tournament? And this happened twice this weekend, and I was like, why is this? So I saw twice this weekend in a trash can, just like like a chair. I'm assuming it broke, like the chair broke, but like, I'm like, what? Like, just like a chair in like the garbage bag, and I was the bin or whatever. And I was like, that is so odd to me. Like, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't throw it away there. I would take it home and throw it away. I would take it home and throw it away. Yeah, but I was like, oh, like this poor person, like just lost their chair. Number one, like they're uncomfortable, but second, like they needed to like dispose of it right away. And so I was like, I wonder what the weirdest thing.
What would if I was a custodian, I'd be like, what in the heck? Well, I saw the chair in there.
I saw the custodian try to take the bag out of the garbage, and he was having a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, that would make me mad.
Yeah, but he got it. But yeah, I don't know. So I was like, oh my goodness, like.
I saw a lot of kids sleeping in the stand yesterday at Sycamore.
I feel like high schoolers sleep more than little kids.
Like there was like, I was sitting, and all of a sudden there's a child sitting like sleeping behind me. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, did not see you there. Yeah. Like just like passed out.
Yeah, I feel like high school tournaments, I see more kids sleeping, like wrestlers, I guess, sleeping than in normal like or little kid tournaments.
I guess I did see something kind of weird yesterday. An adult approached one of our wrestlers and was trying to like get into it with a wrestler.
Yeah, that I feel like is.
I haven't seen that. Like I have not, and I was just like. I did say something because I was just like, why are you talking to a child? Like, go away. Like, like taunting the child. Yeah. Like a child, people. Like 15, 16 years old. Like what was that for?
Yeah. I feel like that's one of like the unfortunate things that I've seen at tournaments. Not necessarily the like someone that you don't know talking to someone that you do know. But I've seen like so many emotions get heated where like a father or a father figure is like literally like at a child, and I'm sure you guys have seen it as well, and it just makes me so sad because like what do you do as like a It's not like you're far away. Like, you're right there.
No, in this case, in this scenario,
Yeah.
a gentleman was sitting there, said something, I said something, and two of the moms were like, please go. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because it was odd. Like, it wasn't even his parent. Yeah. It was a parent of the kid that he just beat coming over and trying to taunt him. Yeah. For what? Yeah. It was so weird. Yeah. That was weird.
That is weird. And
unfortunate.
And disappointing.
Yes.
But, like, yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad you said something, but what do you do whenever
it's a parent?
When it's their parent. Like, I've had that really close, like, literally right next to me, and, like...
That's hard.
Like, what do you do? Like, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, because...
Yeah.
I guess, if anything, maybe you could see where the club they're from, if you could find the club coach and just say, hey, I witnessed this interaction. Like, I just thought I'd let you know. Yeah. Because, like, if it's really bad, like, they're hitting, like, something really, really bad, like, of course. Yeah. But, like, I don't ever want to tell a parent how to parent their child.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I would just probably say, like, find the club coach.
Yeah.
You know, if you could, and try to point him out and say, like, hey, I witnessed this interaction. I don't know how you want to.
Yeah. Because, I mean, so, your situation was, you know.
Random.
Yeah. Not a person unfamiliar with the child saying something. And then I've witnessed a lot of parent-children. Yeah. But I've also witnessed, like, parent, or, like, spectator, like, people need to get escorted out, like. Yeah. And I'm like, I mean, we talked about it before, like, wrestling is, like, an emotionally charged sport, but, like, at the same time, like, are we all adults? Like, let's just take it down a notch. Yeah. You know, it's okay. Like, they're just, I mean, all of it, I guess, they're just children. Yeah. Like, you know, high schoolers, whatever, they're just children. Like, it doesn't need to like, go there, but you're in such, like, a close space, and with, like, an emotionally charged sport, and, like, the atmosphere, right? Like, that plays into the part. But
it does get intense.
Yeah. Which
we're going to get into, I feel like we're going to get into more, like, high school wise, right? We're going to be starting to get into those more intense tournaments. Like, the Sycamore tournament, okay, sure, you want to get first place. Okay, I get it, right? But it's not regionals or sectionals or state yet. You know, like, it's okay. But I feel like we're coming up to those quickly, right? Like, and that's when it gets very emotionally charged.
Yeah, that's true. And but, like, I don't know. I just, in general, like, all wrestlers, like, I feel like, I'm not, like, their parent, right? But, like, wrestlers are all, like, there's, like, a bond, right? Yeah. Like, with the families, and so, like, what do you do?
What's the line?
What's the line? Which, like, brings us to, like, what we wanted to talk about next. Like, what is the line? Like, in a more lighter subject.
Yeah,
like, if you're, like, camping out, right, like, at a tournament, you got your chairs, like, what is, like, where is the space? Like, where do you draw the line of, like, oh, I'm not going to put my chair this close to this person, or I'm not going to,
No, I'm just thinking, do you remember at that one tournament that everyone kept thinking that the walkway was between me and this bin, and I was like, this is not a walkway, and I kept moving my chair, and then there were children climbing over me. I'm like, why is this a walkway? This is not a walkway.
Yeah, and
I was so mad.
It's like communal space, right? Yeah. So, like, it's everyone's space, but, like, where's your personal space? Yes. And, like, sometimes there isn't. I recognize that. Like, if you're in the bleachers, literally, you have, like, your body, and that's it. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, what, where's the line? Like, I don't know. Today I had to plug something into the wall, and, like, the people weren't there, and the chair was in front of it, and I'm like, I waited around for them to come, and I was like, do I just plug it in? So I moved their chair and, like, plugged it in, didn't disturb anything or whatever, but, like, we're, like, living in close quarters with, like, people that we don't know, but we kind of do know because we're all in the same situation.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, what? Like, this is such a bizarre thing to be doing.
It really is.
Every weekend.
Yeah, you're somewhere for 8 hours. Yeah. Living, surviving with strangers.
Yeah.
On the ground.
On the ground.
Like,
real. Yeah.
It is weird.
And so I saw a kid today, and he walked from his car to the tournament with his wrestling shoes on. And I felt like it was okay for me to say something. I didn't because I'm like,
yeah.
But like, who's gonna tell him something? Like that kid needs to know that you can't wrestle, like that you shouldn't wrestle now with those shoes. But like, whose job is that? Like, how is he gonna find out?
Yeah.
If he can't do that.
Yeah, I guess
it has to be somebody that knows them. That's
Yeah.
where like the line is. Like, if you know them personally, you can approach them and be like, hey, dude, like, next time bring some slippers. Or
yeah, if like they're in the club.
Yeah, like
club,
if you're like in the same thing. But my point is, like, I feel like we're all family, like all these people, and I'm like, hey, dude, like, you know, obviously, like I said, I didn't say anything, but I don't know. It's interesting.
It is.
You know, like all these like norms of a wrestling tournament that, like, if you've never been to one before, you're like, what is going on? Like, how do you know you're not supposed to sit there? Well, somebody's chairs, somebody's drink is there, or like their bag is there. Well, they haven't been there for like 2 hours. Well, you still can't sit there. Like, their stuff is there, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
it is so crazy to me. Every single tournament I feel like we go to, somehow we are the walkway. And they're stepping on your blanket, and I get so mad. Because I'm like, this is someone's blanket. Yeah. Stop walking on it.
Yeah. Or sometimes we put like my kid to sleep, and I'm like, please don't step on my child. There was this one tournament where they were stepping over my child. And I was like, wild. Can you like not, like, this was last year. He was like a 1-year-old child. Like, can you not step on him? You know? Yeah. But
so I guess if anything, like, maintain your personal space is the best you can. I think you guys do a really good job of like blocking things. Yeah. Like, you make a circle, so it's like, stop walking through the circle. Yeah. But I think kids are kids. Yeah, they just like not paying attention, and I'm just like, oh gosh. But that one tournament, I'm telling you right now, when I moved my chair and then someone was crawling over me, I was like, no, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah. That's funny. But because I feel like that happens. And I mean, I try not to do that. If it's blocked, like, literally, I go all the way around.
Go around.
Like, you know, but it is what it is.
It is.
But I was like, clearly I've been at 3 tournaments this weekend, because that's all I could think about wrestling related. Like, oh, these tournaments.
That's so funny.
But yeah, like, this is like going back to the concessions thing. Can we like make it a thing that like there's actual good coffee at wrestling tournaments? Like, everyone wants it.
Is it bad?
I mean, okay, let me preface this. I am like a frilly coffee drinker. Like, I prefer like
needs your cream and sugar.
Starbucks. I need cream and sugar. I'll like Dunkin', any kind of coffee, like, as long as I don't have to make it myself. Oh my gosh, that sounds so like, but yeah, like, there was this tournament, I can't remember the name, in high school that we would go to, like, that Brian would wrestle at, and since I was like one of the managers, and they had these good ladies called the Latte Ladies, and they literally have like a little cart in the middle of the hallway, and they made like your lattes, and it was, I probably could have made it, but like, it was good, and it was not black, and it was not from a little, you know, and reasonably priced, and I didn't have to make a trip to Starbucks. I didn't have to make a trip to Dunkin'. I didn't have to bring my mug, and then like whatever. So I'm like, today I didn't have coffee.
Okay.
And I needed it, but I didn't want to Uber Eats it. I didn't want to, and I was just picky and didn't want the coffee that they
had. It was your third tournament of the weekend.
It was my third tournament of the
weekend. She was in her feelings about her coffee.
Yes, but I'm like, what, like,
interesting.
I don't know. I feel like,
should we start the wave?
If there was coffee, I mean, it could even be cold brew, like, not even like something like super fancy. I would buy it. I'd pay $4 for it.
All I'm gonna say right now is the Rochelle sectional better pop off with the concessions, because we are talking pretty highly of what we want.
But at the same time, I'm not running the tournament. So.
True. This might not fall back on us.
I can say whatever I want to say. No, but I mean, in like lighthearted fun, like, these are just thoughts.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, will they ever change? I don't know, but do you agree? Like,
yeah, let us know what you guys think.
Do you guys agree?
Are we picky?
No, I feel like maybe I'm coming off as a little like.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, so
it's been a long weekend.
Yes, it has been. I had literally had ramen I got home from the tournament, had ramen, and then came over here.
Yeah, I'm making a lasagna right now. Nelson just had a craving for some grilled cheese, so we had to wait a little bit to record.
It's like he's pregnant.
Yeah, come on, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy I can finally talk about it, though.
Yeah. You said you were going to take away the pillow.
No, I don't want to show anybody yet. I just bumped like this last week, and it's like a whole. I'm in my head, but it's fine. I guess what I do really want to say though is I want to thank every person who has reached out to me and come up to me and congratulated me, because that just means a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get sad, but like, you know what I mean? Like it just means a lot.
Yeah.
That you guys care. So thank you, because it's been really hard. Yeah. I've been really sick, and I've never struggled with like eating before. I was telling you this, and it's really hard, like, not to know what to eat and then get sick, and like, it's been really challenging. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm hopefully out of that. Yeah. A little bit. But...
Yeah, me too. I'm happy for you too. And if you go back to our previous episodes, I feel like we dropped a lot of Easter eggs, like without knowing about her.
We did.
Because like either she was like not feeling well, or like I would have to come and check on her, or like just like different things that we would say.
Or like that time when I think I said it on here. My sister came down to cook me food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because I literally couldn't do it myself because I was so sick.
And that one episode, you're like, it's gonna be a big year for the bakers. I was like, okay, just tell them you're pregnant.
Right? I know, like, I don't know why I even said that. I was not thinking. I was just, whatever. It's gonna be a big year for the bakers. Well, it is gonna be a big year for the bakers. It'll be interesting. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. It's just...
And Mara told me while we were recording, so literally we had to cut it out of... Well, not we. Mara had to cut it out of the episode because I don't even remember how you said it anymore.
I don't know either.
But you're like, I was like, what? And then I started crying, and we like had to cut it out. It was like, too soon, we can't tell it
and a couple episodes ago, I don't know, I was like watching it, I was like, oh my god, I look unwell. And at one episode we did have to cut because I started like gagging a little bit, and like, I thought I was gonna puke, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's been rough.
There was one episode when you're like, I look like I'll be talking and we're all excited, and she's talking, she's all excited, and then I just talk and she's like feels nauseous, and I'm like, I felt so bad.
Yeah, or like I had a mint once, and I was like, can you tell I have a mint in my mouth?
I was like, switch it to the other side. Yeah, so
I've been a mess. So thank you all for accepting me for my messness.
Yeah,
it's been a lot.
Yeah, but oh my gosh,
we're excited.
Yeah, I think the whole community is excited for you.
Yeah, but do you know? I don't know if you guys listen to the Northern Illinois Wrestling Podcast. My husband talked about me being okay. Yes, I am pregnant, but we are pregnant. That weird thing. Like, I'm the one with the baby. But he said in the Northern Illinois podcast, like, the guy asked him about it. He talked about it on a podcast before I did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, where are you going with this? Because I listened to the podcast.
Well, I announced it, so it's not like it was like some, crazy thing. And the guy saw it. I can't remember what is it, Dalton? Yeah, he, saw it on Facebook and was like, yeah, now you're going to be a dad. Like, how is that going to change wrestling? They were, talking about it. And I was like, I didn't even get to drop it on our podcast yet, so if there are double listeners, which I don't know if there is, but I was like,
me?
Dang it!
Brian?
I was dying, I was like, no, Sid! So, it was not his fault, but it was just really funny. I was like, I didn't even get to talk about it yet, but...
Yeah, that's so funny. I didn't even realize that. Yeah. I listened to the podcast. Yeah. I did hear that.
Because it was public, we made it public last week, but it was I haven't told you guys yet. Yeah. I haven't told the wives. Yeah. But it was just funny.
That is hilarious.
It really
and is. The podcasts are popping off, I guess, for the bakers, because last week there was...
Oh my gosh, I know!
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was on a podcast, then our podcast, so...
So funny. Big year for the bakers.
Big year for the bakers.
She's doing January. No, July.
Yeah, July, right around Fargo.
Yeah.
So no Fargo for the bakers this year. Oh. Sorry for those who didn't know that yet. You can still do duels and all that kind of stuff, but I was thinking at Northern Plains, that's gonna be rough.
Sorry to backtrack, but when Callie was telling us last week about how she had contractions while Mike was at the NCAA, the Big Ten, or whatever, I was like, is that gonna be Mara?
I know. Oh my god, I hope not in May. Oh god, that'd be too much early.
No, but he's at the duels or something? That's in June.
I hope not, 'cause he'll be in Utah.
Yeah, imagine. I mean, no one imagine, but still, I was like, Mara, is that you?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, Northern Plains will be.
Yeah.
He'll be.
Yeah.
Popping.
Yeah.
So
that'll be fun.
Yes. I'm so excited to hear all your perspectives. You can talk about being pregnant.
Oh yeah, give me some tips. Wrestling. Yeah, because this is my first with pregnancy and the wrestling, so, and I've it's been rough so far. So
you've been a trooper though. I feel like.
thank you. I had so much energy yesterday, and then today I was just down.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But yeah.
For future episodes, we're hopefully having a guest.
Chaos.
I know. Hopefully having a guest on, like soon.
Yeah, we gotta ask her.
Yeah, we gotta ask her, and I'm sure she'll say yes. That's so weird. Weird stuff. And then, follow us and on do all the things or whatever.
Yes.
The merch is still there and still.
It could be a great Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I know.
And I wonder. So, okay, we've gotten a lot of feedback from either people who know people or at tournaments or who know our husbands of like, we love the podcast, we listen every week, but like, can you tell us? Like, I mean, like, tell us, of course, but like, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, like, tag us, like, that's the best way to like spread it so that somebody else hears about it. Like,
yeah,
tell them,
share it, please.
Share it. And I know we say it all the time, but subscribe on YouTube. Even if you don't listen or you don't watch or whatever on YouTube, because I know people have their preferences, like Apple Podcasts, love Apple Podcasts, Spotifyers, love the Spotify, YouTube, love the YouTubes, the YouTubes, that was weird. But yeah, so on all the things, and then thank you if you have come out. Mara, can you just talk?
If you have come up to us, thank you so much for talking to us, taking pictures.
Yes.
And just showing us all the love. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes. And we hope to keep, not hope, we're going to continue it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Definitely. And then, the more feedback we get from you, the more we get to talk about and interview people that you guys want to hear from.
Yeah, it might not be as chaotic.
Yes,
I'm
not
just kidding.
as chaotic as today, not as matchy as today.
Yeah.
But it'll be more for you guys. So.
Yeah. And as always, we love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we will talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.